Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. Today is Chibi Friday, so I'm obviously going to continue working on Chibi All Might, which I started yesterday. I got all the ink work done yesterday. All the line work is done. So what I am going to do is first color him with markers, then use colored pencils and white gel pens to finish off the details. So I'm going to start out by picking some colors for his skin. And looking at my reference image, he's got pretty tan skin. So I'm going to pick some colors based on that. I'll be right back. Okay, I picked a few colors. I'm going to just test them out. I don't usually end up drawing characters with tan skin, so I'm not sure which color would be good. This one seems alright. I want to test them all first. Actually, let me write what it is next to it. E21. This seems like it could be a good base layer. And we've got E11. I actually have a little book where Copic makes this book for you to do color swatches in, but it's packed along with a lot of my other art stuff, so gotta do it the old-fashioned way this time. This one is E31, so it's probably gonna be a lot. Oh yeah, that's not gonna work. I'll write it down just in case, but 31, not 21. 31. I'm going to set that off to the side so I don't accidentally grab it. This one is E13. Okay, maybe good for a really dark one if I cut that out. Still, E21 is definitely the way to start. E13. Put that one off to the side too. So let's see, E21, this is it. So I've got a lot of dark ink, and even though it's had overnight to dry, I'm still going to try to be careful, just in case it wants to get drawn out along with the marker. I do not want to smudge all this black ink. So I'm not gonna just haphazardly go over the black ink. I'm going to carefully color around it. I also need to carefully color because on this paper these markers bleed a little bit anywhere you put them down. So you put it down somewhere and it will go, it'll just open up a little bit. So I want to make sure to put the color down as light as possible in areas where, for instance, on his gauntlet here, where it needs to be yellow, white, red, or whatever, you know, it needs to be 3 different colors in a tiny, tiny area. Do my best to make sure that happens by being careful. There, one side of his face is done. Okay, let's get his lip here. just realized I forgot to put my glasses on. Well, I can't stop right now because this is still wet and I don't want there to be any lines in it. When I'm done doing his skin, I'm going to put my glasses on. I knew it. You see right here, it drew the ink up even though the ink was dry. Just because there's so much ink, it's like ink on ink. But that's why I try to make sure to go to the same direction as the lines are going. So this, it almost looks on purpose. So if I had been coloring like this, from side to side instead of up and down, and I drew the ink across, that would not have been as maskable, I guess. Okay, so the base color is good. I want to put my glasses on. Still relatively clean from yesterday, so a little bit of stuff. I'm gonna wipe them off. There. Dang. Just one little spot. Come on. There. Okay. Now I'm looking at these colors, especially now that they're dry. These colors that I did swatches of. Actually, don't know if I like the E11. It kind of makes it look too... It's too red. It gives it a sunburned look. I wonder if maybe the E31 is actually the best next step. Or I could go look for a different color. Let's see. I'm going to put the E11 back. E21 was what I just used. I'm going to look for something near E21. Okay, I got a couple different colors. I don't know what they'll be like. Let's just give them a test. This is E25. Oh my goodness, that is much too dark. 25. Alright, what about this one? E43. It's too gray. Huh. Well, I'll write this down. See, this E31 is more what I would like to use on his hair as a shadow color for his hair. I'm going to keep that one, but this E43 could be an even good secondary. That's weird. This looks darker on the cap than this one, but clearly this is much darker. Maybe because it's still wet. Still a little bit wet. Okay, so I need to put this E25 back. What am I going to do for a shadow color for this E21? E13 is too big of a jump. And it also kind of has that sunburned look. Let's see, this is what I'm putting away. E21 is what I used. E13. Okay, I've got to find something in between this E21 and an E13 that doesn't have so much red tint to it. Okay, I hope I find something. Here's a couple more. E33. Oh, that's more like what I want. That is a good contender, E33. But this one's probably going to be darker. It's E34. It's the next one in line. Yeah. Okay, well, let's definitely go with, I'm gonna fix my chair a little bit. Let's go with the E. Yeah, and that's a much better transition, and it's not as red as this one. Still looks a bit darker than this one, but it's also still kind of wet, and that always makes the paper darker, which makes the color darker. Okay, E33, E33. Okay, I'm gonna try it. See, the way they've got him shaded, this outside part of his head is actually the same brightness as if the reflected light or the ambient light is just as strong as on this side. So where they've got the shadow more is in this middle part of his forehead, and it's sort of like all down the middle of his face. And of course his neck, but this Chibi has no neck. I'm going to follow the shading pattern, but I'm also going to do a little bit of my own shading. For instance, I want to have some shadows under this hair where it's sticking out, because I think that makes sense. I think that it would be casting a little shadow, because even though they go straight up, they still curve. And so the curved area would be casting a little bit of shadow. Let's go all the way down to his eyebrows here. And that way, if I do these all the way down, I'll put some shadow on his eyebrows and they'll be more interesting. Okay, his ears I'm going to do here. I need to zoom in on his face. Okay, yeah, his top lip is in shadow. I gave dimension to it by just putting it in shadow. All this stuff should be in shadow. Something you can do instead of, I only like to do it in small areas, but you can just tap the marker down to put the color down instead of swiping the marker across the page, and that helps prevent the ink from getting moved around too. So like this little exposed area right here, this tiny little triangle, I just tapped instead of swiping. Yeah, this color I think is perfect. This is the perfect color. Actually, here's a little bit more. His eyebrows and shadow. And this side is actually making its own line. The shadow is making a line different from the dark lines. And it also has this part of his eye. I'm not going to go all the way down like in the picture because then it will be touching this part. I want to leave a little bit of space. So I'm actually going to take this all the way over here. That way his hands will stand out a bit. If I put his whole chin in shadow and not do anything else to his hands, then they'll stand out because it won't be the same color. They won't be against the same color. The hollows of his cheeks. This actually has this part all connected. E34 is so close. I don't think I should use it for anything. Not for the skin anyway. But I think I want to go over with E21 again. Even though my reference image shows this side to be the same color as this side. Or I don't know if it's just a trick, like one of those visual tricks, or if it's actually lighter. Well, anyway, since there's all this dark shadow on this side, I'm going to put another layer of E21 to darken this side just a little bit from the other side. Because to me, it makes sense that this side of the face would be a little bit darker than the other side overall because of how dark the shadows are on this side of the face only. What was I using? E33? Well, I better let this dry, and then I'm going to go over with E33 again on the darker shadows. Or in fact, maybe that's what I'll use E34 for. So E13, I'm not going to use. I'm going to see what markers I can put away. We've got here E31, Oh yeah, I thought these could be good for the hair, so we'll keep those out. E21, I think I'm done with. 33 I'm done with, so 34. Now I just need to pick a hair color. He's got this bright yellow blonde hair. Let me look at that other reference image that I have. Yeah. It's just the same color as Sanji's hair. Okay, I'm gonna go get a color for his hair while I let this side of his face finish drying. Yellow 21. Oh my gosh, yes. That is perfect. That's what I'm going to use for his hair. This is probably dry. At least it's probably dry enough. E34. Renew the shadows over here. Maybe I'll do a little extra here to help camouflage that ink line. Okay, done with that. Let's move on to his hair. Okay. This is called Buttercup Yellow. This is another part where I need to be really careful. I don't want it to bleed into his gloves, his gauntlets. Oh, it's looking so great. I was already super happy with this line art yesterday. Even after I finished streaming, I kept it out on my desk, and I'm just so happy every time I looked at it. Now it's getting even better because it's really starting to look like him. So I saw the anime before reading the manga, My Hero Academia, so the In Color All Might is the one that I always think of. All Might is the whole reason I got so into My Hero Academia, because I had sort of heard of it in passing, but nothing that had made me interested in it. And then I started going to this local anime club, and they were screening it, and it was right in the middle of the first half of the second season. So I was just like thrown right into it. And at first I was like, oh, that was good enough to be watching, you know, like, because I didn't know the characters or anything. And it was at least good enough that despite not knowing the characters, I still enjoyed it. But the more I kept watching and the weeks went by and All Might, and there just came a point where I was like, I have to know more about this character. And I started it over from the beginning on my own, and like, I just got obsessed. And now it's my favorite anime that's come out recently. And I've not felt so obsessed with an anime in a long, long time. Like, nothing's made me want to cosplay super bad like this anime. Or made me feel so disappointed when a season is over and it's like, no, I have to wait so long for more. The next chibi that I draw for myself as a reward, because this one is a reward for finishing a huge commission. And the next one I'm going to draw will be All Might True Form, aka Small Might. Small Might is the one that I first saw, and he's the one that made me super interested in this show. I didn't even see muscle form All Might until I started watching it on my own. Okay, I'll wait his eyebrows. Thought it was done, but he do his eyebrows. Okay, now. Yes, it's just really starting to look like him. Okay, E31. Looking at the reference picture to see. So I gotta zoom out. Actually, in this, no, it's not quite the same yellow. For a second I was gonna say it looks like the yellow on his outfit is the same as his hair, but I don't think it is actually. The one on his outfit is a little cooler, tending a little more to the green side of yellow. It's barely, there's barely any difference, but it is there. So the reason why, even though I colored this all in yellow and then I'm covering it completely all up again with this color, so you can't see the original yellow anymore. I do that because when I go up here and there is going to be the yellow exposed, I want the shadow that comes from combining this yellow with this yellow to look the same, and the only way to do that is to actually combine them down here. So that's why I go through that extra effort. Okay, I'm gonna start adding some lines here. this one's interesting because it doesn't go all the way to the edge. It's still contained within the hair. Now I'm wondering if this is even enough shadow. It's not really showing up. Let's see. I'm going to bring it down here. And I'm going to do a little line right here for this one. Little Chiba hair. Little Chiba cat hair on my picture. Okay, I wanted to do, even though they don't do it on this reference picture, I wanted to make these shadows on the eyebrows. I want to give the eyebrows some definition. Even though the way they make sure. Okay, in the anime they give them a little more definition than this reference picture. So that's good. And just the side. Okay, let's move on to this darkest color, E43. And I don't feel like well, I'll just start with this and then we'll see what happens. Because the E31 did not make as dark shadows as I expected it to. So I might just have to go over all the shadows all over again. Yeah, that's showing up much better. Well, I won't go over it exactly. I can still use this slight difference in shade to make the picture more interesting. I'm not going to completely cover up the work I already did. And his eyebrows. definitely a better contrast of color, but now using these earth tones, that's what the E stands for, with this yellow, it's kind of dulled his hair. So now I'm going to search for something that I can, let's see, this was Y21. I want to bring back a little bit of the vibrancy. I don't know about this one, but we'll try it out. Seems kind of green. Might be better for his, I want to say armor, but it's not really armor, it's just his costume. That's the word, costume. Y26. As it's drying, it's like this outside edge is dry. Maybe it would be good, because it's still really damp in the middle. Dry, 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 dry. Well, maybe in the meantime, while I'm letting this dry to see if this color will work for what I want, I could get some white, let's see, make his teeth, maybe I'll get some neutral gray. Yeah, I'll get some neutral gray for his teeth, and then also some cool gray for the white on his outfit. Neutral gray 1 and 3. Don't need to test these, I know enough about them. So I'm going to bring the shadow for his teeth all the way across. I'm going to use the shadows from his face as reference. Make a shadow along the top, where likely his lip is casting a little bit of shadow, and then there should definitely be some here, because the teeth are curving back inside of his head, so they're going into shadow. Dang, that looks so good. Yay! Okay, now this neutral 3. For a little extra, like over here, and where the teeth meet, and right here. Bring it out just a little bit, yeah. Maybe a tiniest bit right here at this corner of the mouth. Just a little bit. Okay, already done with those. And it'll probably be quick for the cool gray too for his outfit, because there's hardly any white on him. This needs to be white, but actually, since this is facing straight up, I'm not even gonna touch those. But here, his head might be casting a shadow. So do a little bit right here. And then these are red. This is red. Oh wait, you know what? I think this part's supposed to be white. I can just cover up the parts that I already did with the red later. That's this middle part is supposed to be white. Okay. This side of his body is more in shadow, so I'm just gonna add a little bit. Yeah, it's such a small, so small. The white. A little bit shadow from the belt, but I don't even think I need the secondary cool gray. But I'll leave it out in case once it dries I feel like I need to add more, or maybe once I add more color. So this is more dry. And I do think I like that. The color after all, now that it's, I think it's mostly dry. This is it, right? Yeah, yellow 26. This cap does not. Let me see. Yeah, look at that. This makes it look brown. It's much more vibrant on the page. That's why you should always test stuff out, and not just for markers. You should always test your paints. You should always test your colors first. Even colored pencils, where it's like you're seeing the wax on the tip there, and yet when you put it on the page it looks so different. And sometimes it's fun to just work with it and whatever, if it's different then that's just part of the picture. But for this I'm trying to get a very specific color, so I don't want to experiment like that on this picture. Oh, and his eyebrows. Oh, and I forgot this stripe at the top of his head. Okay, eyebrows. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Just looking at it straight on. I'm going to take the lighter color, the yellow 21, and go over some of the areas that are just on a shaded side of his head so that the whole thing overall looks more dark. And also help these shadow colors blend together better. I'm going to try not to do it everywhere, because places where it should be really bright, because the light's directly hitting it. The light is surely coming from this side of his body with how dark this is. Yeah, it's looking nice and smooth. A couple little areas I want to add a little bit more. Right here and right here. Oh, just flew out of my hand. Okay. I think I'm done with the hair as far as markers go. Unless I want to do anything extra dark. Nah. If I want to do anything extra dark, I'll do it with the color pencils. So I'm done with these. Next, so I should... His face is definitely all done. His head and his face, all done. So his costume is next. I should work from light to dark. So actually, oh, I do have a use for this. On his belt, oh, this is so tiny. Okay, these little, tiniest little areas are gray. I'm just gonna do the little tap. I'm not gonna draw the marker across. I need this to stay right in this super freaking tiny area. Okay. There. Whew. Okay. So I'm done with the neutral gray. I'm done with the yellows for his hair. So the skin color out. I don't need it. This yellow I need a slightly... I don't need a yellow green, but I just need a slightly cooler yellow for his outfit. So I'm going to look for that. I'm not sure how these compare, but one is just called yellow, so that's probably got good chances. Let's test it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is much more green than this. Maybe when it dries it'll calm down a little bit. Dang. This one is called lemon yellow. Oh, not very pigmented at all. No, this isn't going to work. This, right now it's looking too neon. Dang. Okay, let me get a couple other options while these dry. Guess I'll at least write this one's name, even though I'm going to put it away. Y13. Oh yeah, this is so bright. I don't know, maybe it'll be okay, but let's see, this is yellow 06. I've got a couple other ones. This is yellow 02. It's a little darker. And this one, I thought maybe could work as a shadow color. Yellow 15. Oh yeah. Maybe it could work as a shadow color. Still pretty warm to be doing that. Need a different shadow color. This is just too warm. already tried this one before, but maybe... Like, it's this yellow 26, which I got out again. Dang, it's too dark for this. This is insane. Maybe I should go with this one. Canary yellow. Yeah, maybe that would be alright. The yellow 26 with the yellow 02. So let's go with the 02 for the yellow stuff first, for the base color. This is another area where I need to be extra careful, because there's a line that I want to keep white, and there's a line that needs to be blue. I don't want yellow and blue to go together because I don't want it to be green. Of course, the blue on his outfit is so dark that it would probably just overtake the yellow and not really come out as green. So where else is yellow? His belt. Everything but these eyes on his belt. I'm just doing the tap method of coloring because all this stuff is just so tiny. And his boots, the soles are not yellow, and then these two stripes at the top are also not. I need to carefully color around those. Okay. Aw, it's so cute. Now, there's not really much shading on here. There's a little on the side of his body. This might be too dark of a shadow. Like a sticky string on my yellow marker. Like a string of plastic or something. Oh, well, whatever, I'll leave it. It's bugging me, but... Okay. I'm going to use the lighter color again to blend this shadow in. It seems kind of dark. This shadow is kind of dark for this yellow. It's hard to find a shadow color for this yellow. At least among my markers. I have every one in the Copic Classic set, every marker, but there, that toned it down a bit. That's better. Although this side of his belt is supposed to be there. Spread it out with this. There. At least there's some inkling of what it's supposed to be. Dang, what the heck is up with this weird? I wonder if it's like glue? String on my marker. I don't like it. I don't want a weird string on my marker. Okay. Whatever, I just need to put it away. Don't mess with it anymore, just put it away. And the next thing I'm going to work on probably the red, because the blue is definitely the darkest of the three colors. And it's a pretty true red, like nice bright crayon red. I'll just get a couple, I'll get a shadow color and the main color. See how these work. R27 and R37. I don't know if there's enough difference between the colors, or if I should go darker for the shadow. I'm going to get a darker shadow and see if I like it better. R39. Yeah, I think the difference between these two reds is better. So put the 37 to the side. Now the stuff that's red is this area. Trying to be careful because this marker seems really juicy. It's covering the page really quickly, which means it's easier to go outside the lines, which I don't want to do. I gotta be really careful about these eyes on his belt. Dang, I got a little bit on the yellow. Dang it. I can use a colored pencil to bring that yellow back. See, I like the tip on this was just too big to fit into that little eye. They should make little precision markers. Like, kind of like the Copic multi-liners, only it's, instead of ink, it's this alcohol-based marker solution. I'd buy that. So it's blue up here. Down here on the boots is red. Since I have more room, I'm gonna do... So there's actually 3 lines at the top of these boots. Red, white, red. But I only had room for 2. I'm gonna do the red at the top, because then there's less chance of me bleeding down into the yellow. Because with the white, if I bleed into the white, I can still kind of fix it with a gel pen at the end. But if I bleed into the yellow, then I have to just try and cover it with a colored pencil, which is more difficult. Okay, I think I got all the reds, so now let's do some dark reds. So up here, where his head would be casting a shadow, where his huge head would be shadowing his tiny body. And here between his pecs. And around his ab muscles. I think I was just doing like a bit here, a little bit here. Although this hasn't, this part all the way in shadow. I'll just do a little bit around these lines, under the belt. And inside of the legs on the boots. That's good for red. I got some pretty good shading in there, even though it's just such a tiny area. What's next? Blue. So, I'm done with these reds. This blue is really dark. It's like a royal blue. And the shadow color of the blue is so dark that I had to keep zooming in order to tell the difference between the black, sort of like inked shadows, and the dark blue shadows. So I'm going to try to find some colors that have that effect. Okay, I'm going to start with these two, see how they are. B29. Ooh, that seems like the perfect color. Maybe I'll store this card and I could cross out the colors I didn't use. Let's do that real quick. And then for future reference, I would know what I used to color all mine. See, I used that for skin. E11, I did not use that one. It was too red. E31 and E43 I used on his hair. I can't actually remember everything. I didn't use this yellow. I didn't use this yellow. Or this one. At least I don't think so. Ooh, I can't remember now. Well, I definitely didn't use this red. Okay, let's see what this super dark blue looks like. Oh, that's pretty good. I think this is actually the darkest blue I have, so I don't really have a choice. B39. It's kind of the same with the reds, how I started with R27, R37, though I didn't use that. B29, B39. Okay, this is just too perfect a color, so I'm definitely going to use it. I hope this isn't too juicy a marker, because I really don't want to bleed into the yellow. I want to have crisp lines separating those areas. Okay, being extra careful. Try to barely touch the tip of the marker to the page for this. Bled a little bit, dang it. Doing pretty good though. Trying to just barely touch it. Oh, I did good on that line. Okay. Hopefully I haven't missed any spots. So I'm just going to go ahead and color everything that doesn't have gray, red, or yellow in it. Color all the rest blue. My dog is having another dream today. He's going, he's breathing out, doing just barely audible little woofs. He's still doing it a little bit. Oh my god, it's coming to life. I'm so excited. Adding this blue is like, it's real. It's the final thing needed to make this look real. Oh, it looks so good. I want to let it dry a little bit. You probably can't hear it, but Sin just had some more bigger sleepy boofs. A little plastic thing on my paper. Okay, it's probably dry enough. Now this is already so dark, I don't really need to do much. Just try and follow the reference image. I also have to be careful because just because I got this first blue on here good doesn't mean I can't accidentally bleed this darker blue into some of the other areas. His legs is just mostly inside both of his legs is their shadow. And then around his knee a little bit. And there, I think that's good enough. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to lose this awesome blue because this is like the exact right color. I think you're right. Perfect color. Okay, now that this gray is dried, I'm gonna add a little bit more because like I can't even see it anymore. It's not making a difference, especially since all these other colors have been added and the contrast is just making the gray sort of disappear visually. Just can't really see it. There, I like that better. So I use this for skin. Use this for hair. Yeah, just right. Skin. Hair. Did I use this one? This was hair. this was hair. This was, yeah. I don't think I used this color. And it's obvious what those are for. Sweet, now I have a little reference sheet. I'll just keep these together. Now I'm not done. I'm done with the markers, but I'm not done with this picture. Now I need to move on to colored pencils, and this is where I'm going to make this picture my own. Like right now it's pretty close to the reference image that I'm using, and I'm going to do those sort of signature things that I love to do on Chibis. Like I'm going to give him some rosy cheeks, and I'm going to do some shading and highlighting with blue and purple. So I'm going to put my markers away first and then get some colored pencils. Oh, you could hear Sam's little boof boofs. He's done dreaming now. And I wanted to use this for this yellow, but I think I need to sharpen it. Sharper than that. To rescue this little spot where I bled the red into the yellow. Yay, that's better. Anywhere else that I need to, oh yeah, this blue, bled a little bit of blue in here. Hair colors kind of coming in here too, though they're both yellow, so it's not as big of a deal. Yeah, it's not even fully covering the blue, because the blue is so dark it's showing through. Cool. The way the red shows through the yellow colored pencils just makes it look like part of the shadow now. I can't get this fully covered here. Oh well, it's better than it was. Okay, so I'm done with that. What else? I don't know if there's anything else I need on the body. As far as color fixes go. I think everything else turned out really good for staying in the lines. Okay, so now I'm gonna get some pink for his cheeks. I'm gonna sharpen this pink first though. Oh man, this colored pencil's got a big crack down the middle. Ooh, it's on both sides too. Hopefully the lead doesn't break on me. I don't know if you can see that. There's a big crack on this side. Doesn't look like you can see it. There's a big crack on this side. Lead seems relatively stable. Now I want to make sure not to get any of this pink on the black. Or at the very least I'm going to try to keep it to the very edge so it's not, because it will stand out in not a good way. I only want the pink on the skin color. And a little pink on his lips too. And on his ears. A little cat hair on here. Come off of there. Aw, you can't even tell on the camera. You can't even tell the difference somehow. Moving on to this red color. I always like to do a little more deeper blush closer to the eyes. So I'm not even going to be able to do it on this side because it's all in shadow. I'm just trying to do it lightly because I don't want it to be too extreme. I want it to be gradual. More than anything, I want it to be cute looking, not like dangerous looking. So I'm going to cover it with more pink and blend it with more pink. Dang, it's too bad that it barely shows up on the camera. Oh well, I'll upload it later so then people can really see it good. A little bit of extra red on the ears. Dang, I think that's looking good. It's starting to look like my Chibi now. So maybe we'll do just the tiniest bit of red, like one little thin line of red. I'm going to smooth it out with more pink. on his lip. So his skin is a lot more tan than what I usually do for chibis. So I'm putting the red in more places than I normally do. I'll look at this straight on. I think that's good for the blush. That's good enough. Now I'm thinking about this side of his head. Because if there's this big dark shadow right here, maybe I should do a white with a colored pencil. Now I'm looking at it, I wonder if I should add a little more shadow right here. Oh, this goes all the way out here, but this doesn't. Where's my pens? I want to be careful. Just add a little bit more. Okay, I'll leave it at that. I don't want to overdo it, but I do think that looks better. It's more in line with the shadows below the eyebrows. Well, let's get a white colored pencil. I think I will do a little matching. It's not going to be as a stark contrast as that black shadow, but in fact, I bet this won't even show up on the camera. If the pink didn't show up, this white is even more close to the marker skin color than the pink is. Okay, now I'm just going to use a little white to tidy up a couple areas. In fact, it's only like there's that one little spot that needs a little extra help. So a few areas where colored pencil's getting on the ink, I'm going to get an eraser and see if I can help that. Yeah, because it was barely on there, it's just like stray pieces of wax, so good, erase away easily. What else? Yeah, bring some white down onto the cheek area. Okay, I'm going to move on to the hair. I want to get an even darker shadow color to get some more texture on his hair. This is the one I always use for blonde hair shadows. That's why it's such a short pencil. So I use it often. Relatively often. Get nice and pointy. Trying to use the pencil on the side of the tip, so not like this, but like this. I don't know if that explains the difference, but I want to get thin but really pigmented lines. Yeah, that's better. Oh, this eyebrows, we can do a little bit on there too. Give them some more texture. Put a little more pink on this cheek here. Okay, I'm ready to move on to doing the blue and purple shadow and highlight colors. going to try these two. This is the one I've been favoring recently for the purple. It's Grade Lavender. But I haven't been entirely happy with the blues I've been choosing. So I'm going to try this powder blue. Because they seem like they go together. Let's start with the purple. Can't really notice that much on his body. It's already so colorful. And then the shaded areas are so dark. I don't know how much of this is even standing out. So it looks pretty good right here. Maybe I actually need to use a more pigmented purple for it to make a difference on this drawing. Because it's just ending up looking like regular shadow. It's not giving me that nice colorful tint that I want. Let me get another one. Try this one. Parma Violet. Need some sharpening though. Blast it. The end broke. Alright, gotta get the lead out of my sharpener. Let's try this again. There, that's better. guess everything about his All Might's color scheme is just so intense that the purple colored pencil that I prefer is just not pigmented enough to stand up to it. Although it was good for covering large areas. I don't want to cover large areas with this purple. So I am liking how it's giving me more pigment. But it's so much pigment now that I don't want to overdo it anywhere. I just want to be really careful and light with it. Super careful. There. That's much better, I think. That's more the effect I was going for. That I tried to go for. Now I'm going to clean up a little bit. Anywhere I've gotten colored pencil on the black ink. Okay, here, look at this straight on. Okay. I'm calling good there. See how this works. Maybe I will need a more intense one for this too. This blue I like to do in places where, assuming the character is outside in the sun, where the blue sky would be reflecting on them. working out great on his hair. Who knows about everything else, but this is great for his hair. Still trying to keep off of the black ink lines, at least the really thick ones. And I'm just going to do a little bit around. Even though this side is mostly in shadow, still might be some light coming around and hitting his hair. Now this color is like perfect for what I wanted to do. Yay! It's so good. It's so good with the purple. Doing the purple for shaded areas and doing the blue and highlighted areas. I just love how that looks. I love how colorful it makes everything. I like doing this too because it just brings all the colors together, because you can just take it from one color to the other without changing colors. So it helps tie the whole picture together. That might be good for the colored pencils. Like, I really love this area. Blue, red, purple, all in a row. And then the yellow here. Dang, you can't even see it on the camera. Oh well. You'll see it eventually online. I'm gonna clean up again. Clean up areas that got a little wax on the black lines. Oops, don't come with me. There, stay over here. Okay. So that's good for the colored pencils. Let me put these away. And then the final step, I was going to, I might need a smaller pen than that, but I was going to touch up any black ink. So I think there were a couple areas. Well, now I'm looking at it, I'm not really, I guess we'll see if I notice them as I'm working on the other thing that I need to do for the end, which is the white ink. So I'm kind of excited for this because I recently bought a pack of Jelly Roll, which is my preferred white gel pen, Sakura Jelly Roll. But I have always just had this Jelly Roll medium, and I never thought to look for other sizes, and recently I did think to look for them, and they had a 3-pack of this smaller size, and if I like this, I might end up buying the 3-pack of the larger size too, because then I can have all 3, because this is just my preferred white gel pen, the Sakura brand. And if you've seen any of my previous videos or live streams, you'll know that the one I had before was being really testy and not working, and so last time I just gave up on it. I tested it against a new one. This is the new one, and there was no point continuing to use the old one, even though it technically still had ink on it, because it was not flowing anymore, and you're going to ruin your drawing if you have a bunch of scratch marks from trying to get the ink to flow. This newer one, even though it's not even that new, it's still a couple years old, but I just hadn't gotten to using it yet. This one flows nice, and they flow even despite, I need this in case I need a scratch paper, even when I go over an area with colored pencil, because the wax tends to jam up the tip. If I just scratch it on a paper, then it clears it out. But the older one was just not flowing at all, period, regardless of whether it was clogged or not. So then when it did get clogged, it was awful. So this reference image is going to be no help at all, because he actually doesn't have any. Doesn't have a single area of really strong highlight. So I'm just going to use my imagination, put him where I think it should go. Like the tip of the feet, I think is a good idea, because it'll make them look like they're sticking out from the leg, like they're supposed to be. Put some on top, across the top of this belt. That way it will look like it's sticking out from the rest of the costume, because that is how it's supposed to be. And do a little bit on these. I can't remember what these are called. They have a name, these things that stick out of the gauntlet. Anyway, do a little highlight on those so they stand out from the hair. Well, it'll stand out pretty good on this side because the hair is so shaded. Guess I don't really need any further on the body. Do a little dot on this gray part of the belt. just do a little bit. I don't know if I can get it to come out because it is so waxy right here. There, yeah, see, this is definitely a better pen than the one I threw away. Even though the same brand and everything, the other one was just older. So even though this area was totally covered in wax. Oh, hi, Turtle Sushi. No, this is a present for myself. It's a reward for finishing a commission. Yeah, this newer pen is definitely working better. I wasn't able to make these two nice highlights, even on a completely waxy area. I just had to tap instead of roll. Do a little highlight on his lip. This is a nice little thin one. Oh, I'm going to bring it up higher. Okay, where else? Got his lip, got his cheek. Maybe not anywhere else on his face, but we'll see if I can do some. Got so much wax on his hair. I want to do lines, but since for these dots I had a tap, I don't think it's gonna work. Okay, I'm gonna go get my one bigger white gel pen. I'll be right back. I've been finding recently that this really big one does a good job on ink if I need to do lines, but I just have to be willing for them to be really big lines. On the hair I don't mind too much. Ugh, it's still so waxy. So waxy from the colored pencils, I'm getting hardly anything. It is still working though. Working, just barely. It's just barely working. Since his hair is blonde, it wouldn't have that much shine to it anyway because it's such a light color. So it's also giving his hair some more texture. Look at it straight on. There's just so much else going on with it, and since it's blonde hair, not really making much of a difference actually, doing these white gel ink lines. Come on, you can do it, pen, you can do it. It'd work better if I use a dip pen with white ink, but with with the little tiny space I have to work in right now, I'd rather use stuff that has less chance of being knocked over and spilling. It's like the workspace I have is pretty much what you're seeing on the camera. It's not very big. That's good. Doing a little edge right next to the thick ink line. It's looking pretty cool. I like it. It doesn't look like you can tell the difference on the camera though. Well, you'll see it in the scanned version. Maybe I'll do it the tiniest bit on this one eyebrow. Just a little bit. Maybe a little bit right here too. Just the tiniest bit. I think I might be done. I'll look them over one more time. I'll do a little line right here. My dream studio, huh? It'd be like, you know, like a sunroom on a house where it's just like one wall and the rest is all windows? That would be my dream studio. So much natural light coming in that even on a cloudy day, I wouldn't necessarily need a lamp. And also it would be large, like really big. Like I don't know feet, but maybe at least 30 by 30 feet, so everything can be nice and spread out. I could have my easel out at all times. Whenever I need it, I could have a table for each type of thing, and it would just be ready to go, and I wouldn't even have to unpack things out of drawers and stuff in order to find them. I'd have like my watercolor station and whatever. That's dream studio for me. But the house that I'm going to be moving into at the end of the month will still be better than what I have right now. And there's one little, this is like a 2 by 2 square foot of space to work on physical media art. At least in the new house, I'm going to have a whole room, a whole bedroom. And the people we're buying the house from were using it as a it looked like a sewing room, so it was actually like a craft room, so it's actually sort of tailored to what I want to use it for. So it's not necessarily dream studio, but it's definitely going to be better than anything I've ever had. Okay. I really don't see anything else I want to add on here, so I'm just going to sign this and call it good. Yeah, space I think is the biggest thing for art. My previous art studio was also a bedroom, but it was used, especially in the last year or so that I lived in it, was like half storage, so there were just enough room to walk from space to space, but other than that it wasn't conducive to a feeling of creativity or productivity because it was just so jam-packed with stuff. So I'm gonna try my best not to let my new studio get that way. The previous owners even have extra built-in storage in this bedroom. So there's like a regular bedroom style closet, and then there's also these like storage closets, so I'm really excited for that. So even if I store lots of stuff in my new studio, it's gonna still be more tidy and put away and not just stacks of stuff on a table or something. Alright, I can close these reference images. I'm all done with those. And it's after my streaming window. It's lunchtime for me. So I'm gonna call it a day for live streaming. Turtle Sushi, thank you for joining me, even though it was at the end and you didn't get to see much. Or I actually don't know when you joined. Maybe you got to see more. But hopefully we'll get to talk again next time. I'll be back on Monday. Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching.